Hello everyone, welcome. This is Shiny Raiko, and I'm going to go for a Stardust Warrior deck today. This will be the first Stardust Warrior deck on YouTube ever, so please give me a thumbs up on that. And I like to say, for a while I've been thinking, when Konami gave us a structure deck with this card, I was like, maybe this is going to be super metal. And then it released same time with Shadows, Necros, and had a rough competition to go to the top. That the Synchron deck didn't really fly off that much, because Quasar is hard to summon, and under Unicore the deck is completely stunned. It's like a skill drain. So right now that those decks are hit and you can actually beat them now, I decided to move the deck to a Stardust Warrior. Now Stardust Warrior is a very good card. Now that the meta is swinging towards pendulums, no pun intended, the Stardust Warrior becomes very useful because he negates pendulums and just send all of them to the grave. He alone fights a pendulum and he's a 3000 beat stick. I honestly think it should be more, considering how the nature of his summoning is actually hard, because it takes 2 synchro monsters, which isn't really that easy to do. It's easy for the deck, but genuinely not easy for other decks. Now let me go in. It's almost very similar to the Quasar deck, but you don't really play things to go into Quasar that much, if you get what I feel. 3 junk synchron, 2 quick draw synchron, 2 jet synchron, and 1 synchron carrier. That's it for all your synchron monsters. And for an extra tuner, we have Glow Up Ball. That's our extra tuner. Then for the non-tuner synchro material, Doppel Warrior, 2 Rush Warrior. Rush Warrior is a very good card. I know a lot of you might not know what it does. It doubles your attack of a warrior synchro monster like Stardust Warrior, Junk Warrior, Nitro Warrior, Road Warrior. Doubles their attack. And it's a out to Cosmo Destroyer, Dark Destroyer, and other big things that you can't really cross. And in the grave you can banish him and get back an add for a synchron monster. Anyone, doesn't really matter. But that's a good effect, because even after you use him, he still has a secondary effect and gives you back cards to use again. So you'll never be running low on cards, which is good for a synchron deck. Next up, 2 Level Eater, 2 White Dragon, 2 Black Dragon, no mean to be racist, and 1 Mathematician. Mathematician honestly hasn't been putting in all that work. It could do better. Honestly, I could put in other cards that would be better use. It's just that it sends the cards for free, so you can't really play without it, and you draw a card when he dies. Next up for the hand trap, 3 Effect Veiler. That's it for the hand trap, because if you're going to be negating the summons, you can't be playing Maxi and Dad and BLS. Those are your 2 mini boss. For spells, 3 tuning and the rotor. Still kind of sour about this. Next up, a next unique card, 2 Starlight Junction. Junction is a very good card. At first I didn't really think it was that good or that great, because all it does is tribute any monster. As a matter of fact, not even any monster, a tuner monster, to special summon a synchron monster from your deck with a different level. So you can't even use your bulb to go into jet synchron, because they're both level 1s. Now I thought that was stupid, because that way I could set up my graveyard for these 2 to combo off them in the following turn. But then I learned, like, you could always have your bulb, tribute it, go into synchron carrier, and then you get an extra normal summon. So it's really strong. I was quite surprised. And then a bonus effect on it is that when you synchro summon your opponent turn, you can shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. Now, obviously I'm going to select a card on my opponent's side of the field, but also the thing that makes it really good is that you have 4 ways to synchro summon your opponent turn, and then it's mandatory for you to use the effect. So you don't really lose anything by doing it. And if you think if you're the only one who's going to control cards, just synchro summon in your turn. So that's a big deal. Now the one-offs, Soul Charge, wouldn't play without it. 1-for-1, absolutely broken. Mind Control, I like to use other people's monsters to synchro summon. Foolish Burial, very good card. Raigeki, help for the mop-up. Sometimes you need to clean up to go for OTK, you have to play it. And the last 3 cards are the Traps, 2 Solemn Scolding, and 1 Solemn Warning. Now, initially I was going to play 3 Royal Decree, but I was saying to myself, Pendulum decks don't really play back row. The only one that plays back row is Magispector. And Decree doesn't really stop them because they can search for the spells and destroy my monsters anyways. So, best to put in Summon Negation. Plus, if the Pendulum a lot of monsters, like 5 at once, you get all of them to grave. And you'll never see them back again. So, next up is the extra deck. First off, 2 Stardust Warrior. They're very easy to summon unlike Quasar. 1 Stardust Dragon. 1 Black Rose. I would never play the deck without him. Any synchro deck basically. Goya Guardian puts in a lot of work. And for level 5 you play a lot of level 5s. TG, Armades, and 2 Axel Synchro. Axel Synchro is one of the best tuners to ever come out in the game. Changes its level just so you can synchro someone. Then you can synchro summon your opponent's turn, put it in the finest of work. And next up, 2 Formula Synchron. The Axel Synchron before it was cool. Next you have Road Warrior, Drill Warrior, and 2 Jet Warrior. Now, know this, Stardust Warrior does not special summon the monster from the extra deck, it synchro summons it. So if your Stardust Warrior leaves the field and TG's face up, you will get a draw. Just always know that. Never forget that. And Stardust Warrior is such a good card. If it leaves the field, you get a fresh new monster. I could even summon my Road 3000 and then go into the next one. Well, next up, I'm going to go through some card choices which you could play. I was going to play the 2 Scrap Iron Statue in the side, but I prefer play Mystical Space Typhoon. Reason being, you have to set this first. This is a very good card, but Typhoon can hit any back row. This has to wait until the card is face up and activates again. So sometimes if you're not playing Pendulums or opponent using face up cards, it's dead. If they destroy it, you get a special summon back though, but it's not always worth it. Pot Up Dichotomy, a nice good card, but I couldn't find space for it. And then to top it all off, it's kind of slow because first of all, I can only activate at the start of my main phase, so you have to do it immediately if you're planning to do it any at all, and you can't use your battle phase that turn, which is both double negatives. But you play Warrior, Plant, Insect, and Dragons and Spellcasters, so it's not really an issue to get it off. Next one is Synchro Material. I could use this with Formula Synchron, Axel Synchron. I use my opponent monsters to synchro summon in their turn with a field spell, throwing back an X card, so they lose 2 cards for me using 2 cards. So this one was a good one, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it in yet. And it doesn't give me an out to certain things that would be a problem, like Magispector. Magispector rips apart your deck, by the way, because they have too many cards that negate summons, negate effects, banish, destroy. They just have too many things for monsters. And this doesn't really help me for the situation. I was going to play Emptiness over one of the Solemns, but prevention is better than cure. It's better to not have the opponent summon the monsters and get rid of them completely for the rest of the game. Plus Scolding can negate spells, traps, or even monster effects if necessary. With Vanity you have to wait, and if your opponent's not playing a special summoning deck, you just straight up lose. So that's it for the card choices there. Next up is side deck. 3 Gores, Emissary of Darkness, because a lot of times you'll be playing against decks that literally don't use back row or those things, or you want to take out your Solemns, or you want to take out the Starlight Junction, so you can put these in. Because a lot of decks, example Infernoize, you need to play Gores so they don't OTK you. A lot of other decks, especially the Pepe, can't stand those. 3 Artifact Lancia. Now before I even say anything about that, I had to take out the 3 Imperial Iron Walls because I am doing a lot of banishing in the deck. So I myself cannot be preventing all form of banishing when I intend to banish as well. So you play Artifact Lancia. It's a very unique card in terms of you can set it because you don't play backfield. They'll Typhoon it, thinking it would be a Solemn. You get a free special summon, 2300 defense. And if they even be able to cross it, that's fine. It's not really an issue. And then to top it all off, you can always use it if I contribute, so your opponent cannot banish. If you're playing against Infernoize, just do it right at the start so they can't summon. Next up, the 3 Maxi, because if you're playing against a deck that special summons a lot, you can side them in. Next up, 2 Raikou, because Raikou is just a straight good card and it's out to Monarchs because they'll summon Vanity's Fiend, and then your whole deck special summons. Like every monster in the deck has special summon in the text except for Velo. Next up, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon and 3 Royal Decree. And the last 2 cards are these 2. They're not in the side, but I'm just saying they're a second option to play if you'd like, because this card is always a good card to send with Axel, so you can make a level 8 instantly. And Synchron, Unknown Synchron actually, can special summon and use a field spell and combo off it first turn without any issue. Well, your opponent has to go first so you can special summon, but you get the point. Alright, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, leave me a like, leave me some support. This channel is new. I'm still trying to get new subscribers. I can't be posting a lot of videos if there's not going to be a lot of people seeing it, so it doesn't make any sense I push out videos daily, which I can do, but it doesn't make any sense I do that. So I just need your support and we'll take a step further. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.